Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video and one mage card. A random mage card has appeared to be buffed out of the blue, completely out of the blue. It's the one we're taking a look at here. We're talking about, is it just a bug? Because we all know those bugs come up. Well, there's a bit more to it than that. And I also wanted to talk about other bugs going on in the game that you might be aware of, like triple rune discovers happening all the time. What the hell is going on with that? As well as a couple of returning portraits to the shop that you don't want to miss out on if you have the gold and, well, if you're interested in those portraits. And of course, a reminder that we announced our giveaway yesterday for hitting 69,420 subs. We already hit 70,000 subs, so thank you guys so much for that. You guys acted quickly, which means we're bumping up to $300 a packs, up to $400 a pack, 4 different winners. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is like and comment in the video, the description below. The one I'm looking at, I disliked it. The content, just terrible, but you have to. And again, there's no limit. Every 1,000 subs until next week when we announce the giveaway winner, I will add another $100, so hit that sub button, make me go broke. The Power of Creation, a mage spell, a wild only, or I guess you could probably play it in duels. I don't know if Rise of Shadows is in duels. Regardless, this was an 8-mana spell that came out way back in the day, and was always kind of confusing with the way it was worded. 8 mana, discover a 6-cost minion, summon 2 copies of it. And the way it worked, you'd play the spell, you get the 2 minions on the board, and that was it. But if you take a look at this video, we tested it against the Innkeeper. When we cast the spell, all of a sudden, we got the 6-drop in our hand for extra value, which can be pretty good when you get a card like Belinda as a 6-drop and you're playing big spell mage, you get more Belindas, which is a really cool, different thing. So it seemed like, okay, this is probably a bug, whatever. I even tested it with Dragonfire Amulet, right? Worded pretty similarly. Tradable, discover 2 dragons, summon them, and tested it with that. And no, I didn't get the dragons added to my hand. So I assumed probably a bug, but if you go onto Twitter, somebody already asked about this and a dev response has happened. It was asked here, is Power Creation supposed to add the minion you're summoning to your hand? This never happened before, so I assume this is a bug. Deck Tech Weiss response, I didn't hear about this, we'll pass it along. Then replies later, looks like this was actually an intended change. They wanted to make the language effects on Discover cards more consistent and decided to buff Power Creation instead of changing its text. This was not documented anywhere in the patch notes, just kind of purely random. And we've seen random changes like with Skulking Ice before, where all of a sudden now it would hit any 1-cost spell. Basically, if it had been changed to that, not as base cost, we've seen random changes like that. And it got me thinking, well, Dragonfire Amulet is kind of the same thing, but it doesn't say that. However, this card says discover 2 dragons, summon them. The big difference here, I would argue, at least if you take a look at Power of Creation, is it says discover a 6-cost minion, summon 2 copies of it. The main difference being here, copies, right? You're getting copies of the minion, which is assuming that you have that 6-cost card in your hand that you discovered and you get a copy. And it threw me off for a lot of these cards. Sometimes it can get quite confused. I remember a lot of us when we first saw Tamsin's Phylactery, for example, we just assumed you would discover the friendly death rattle minion that died this game. You would just give your friendly minions its death rattle. It wouldn't add it to your hand, but it did. The main reason being 9 lives saying discover a friendly death rattle minion that died this game also triggered death rattle, basically implying that the discover or the death rattle part was a bonus on top of discovering. So can be some confusion. I still would like to see this one be worded more, like, I don't know, consistently, but it's a cool confirmed buff. And I guess Dragonfire Amulet, since it doesn't say copies, doesn't quite get that. And to be fair, probably getting 2 dragons in your hand, especially powerful potentially, probably a little bit too OP even in wild. Well, not in wild, it's 10 mana, you have to cheat it out. And regardless, I can kind of see it, but I'd like to hear you guys' take on it. Should Dragonfire Amulet be adding the minions to your hand? Should it be even more consistent that way, or is it just nice that we got a little bit of an update? So that was really just out of the blue that a random card got buffed. So if you want to go into wild, play some Power Creation, you can do that. You know what? In tribute for it being buffed, it got buffed. Why don't we buff our versions and let's make it golden? Let's make our Power Creation golden shiny. And look, I can't hit undo, it's done. And now we have a buffed golden card. Another thing I wanted to bring up, which I've seen a lot of people post about and being very confused, is about basically Deathlight discovers. Remember, you're not supposed to be able to discover triple rune cards. Well, we have a picture here of someone discovering 2 triple rune cards. The same one, which you're not supposed to be able to do. I believe this is off of Vulpera Scoundrel. Been seeing it off Prismatic Elemental. I've seen it off Jackpot. Tons of cards creating triple rune cards outside of Deathlight. Deathlight itself can't seem to do it. It just seems like every other class isn't restricted. And you probably have seen this by now, and it is a known issue. This is a known issue. The team is aware, or the team is investigating reported issues with discover effects in triple rune cards with Vulpera Scoundrel, Hipster, and they are aware that there's much more to that. I think I saw a Ridiculous Hat already commenting to other people like, yes, we know there's a bunch of other cards. We're looking into what's going on, because it was working fine when they first made that fix, but it continues to happen. And there's one other added issue put into the patch notes here, not patch notes, the known issues forum tab. It's really hard to find this stuff, so at least I could do that for you guys. The team is aware that a stolen snapshot, the card generated by Photographer Fizzle, will not grant any of the snapshotted cards. So if you steal it, like an identity theft or something like that, I believe you won't get those cards. So be aware of that. That could be a little bit annoying, especially if you play those Control Priest mirrors or Control Priest decks and trying to steal Fizzle's snapshot. It won't always work out, so hopefully they'll update it, because you can get it with your own Shadow Visions, as we've seen with those like infinite damage decks, but not quite with that. And there are 2 returning portraits in the shop that you might not want to miss out on in case you did the first time. First being a Paladin skin, with Paladin being pretty darn good on ladder right now. If you want to play it, we're probably going to talk about the meta and stuff tomorrow. We haven't talked about how just Paladin's broken at all ranks now, not just the lower ones. Oh, we'll talk about that tomorrow anyways. The Urel Hero set comes with a Urel portrait. It's like one of the more premium ones. Comes with a card back. She has like an animated hero power animation, visual effects, voice line. So one of the more top of the line ones, 1,500 gold or 1250 Canadian, probably 10 USD. So that one's in the shop if you was one that you were missing out on, as well as the Tavish Stormpike hero skin. I believe this was a rewards track. Back in like probably Forged in the Barrens, something like that. 1,000 gold, 875 Canadian. Basic card, basic portrait, no card back, no animated hero powers, nothing really that special, just like a baseline amount. So if you are interested in that, it is in the shop right now. And yeah, that's kind of the general update on stuff. Gotta remind you guys though, absolutely do not miss out on this card back. The Tavern Brawl launches today for the basically earn the Lilith card back by beating the Dark Wanderer in Tavern Brawl. Unbelievable card back. Make sure to log in today, get that. Got the whole event going on with some free packs, do all that stuff. And tomorrow, yeah, we're going to talk about the meta. In particular, really surprising to see one class just completely disappear lately. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.